Sup Shredders, my name is Logan aka Spiderhands and welcome to SP Reviews, where today I'm going to be checking out a track from an act named Kiran Biswa, and this is titled Oh Warriors. So if we switch over to here, we have the single art here. I'm going to put this here so that it's potentially out of the way of the webcam I have on this side. We also have information here. Oh Warriors is a fusion of cultures through music. It has got ancient Himalayan instruments, bamboo, flute, double-handed drums, Tibetan tingsa, Chinese tam tam, Indian tabla and harmonium, an ancient Australian instrument, a didgeridoo, I think, blended in a modern rock element. So there's collaboration among Australian Indigenous artists, musicians from USA, India, and Australia. I think that's fantastic. So you got this kind of world music, rock world fusion kind of thing going on here with different elements. This is, of course, a 6-minute track. We're going to listen through it from start to finish. And while I'm not going to pretend I'll recognize absolutely all the different instruments in here, I'm looking forward to listening to something that's a little bit more sort of unique than the typical kind of stuff I hear. So let's go. Like instantly you come with like the clicks, and then you got the which I think is the didgeridoo. Yeah, there you go. And instantly it's very different than what I'm used to. We've got Nepali lyrics by Mukti Gurung. Just yeah. Oh, we got the oh, guitar? Oh, damn. Look at these different elements we got here, man. Okay, we got a fairly catchy vocal melody harmony here from these multiple singers with the with like a Phrygian mode going on with this first and the flat second chord progression. I like it. Fairly heavy. I think this is like a really effective way of differentiating yourself from other musicians that are within similar genres like rock. When you hear a rock song, this may not be typically what you're used to, but that's a point of difference which you need in what, quite frankly, is an oversaturated market. We've got some interesting chord. I think despite the really unique individual sort of instruments we've got here with this combination of different elements, you've got fairly, you know, like you got reasonably sort of common chord progressions and stuff like that. Oh, hang on. There we go. Ba 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 ba. We had an interesting harmony there. Oh, well, that's a beautiful little triad we got going there on the synth pads. Those strings are lovely as well. I like it. We're not feeling confined to sort of 3 or 4 instruments. We're putting a whole lot of them together for a sort of yeah. I'm back to the hook. See, I wouldn't have expected this Woodwind Solo to come in now. It's fairly competent solo, actually. Ooh, that's quick. Ooh. So we get like really kind of quick shred guitar solos. Why not more solos like this on other instruments, you know? Nice finish there. We had like a 9-bar phrase there with that stanza. That was interesting there. Like, I haven't really heard anything like that before. Usually you have groups of 4 bars or 8 bars. To have that additional one there is kind of like suspenseful, wasn't it? Pianos? The drums are consistent, I like that. Bass is really subtle, isn't it? Like, to get these harmonies and melodies and different sort of sections to kind of stitch together, it requires a fair bit of it understands a really deep understanding of music theory and composition and songwriting. You know, it's one thing to get a guitar and drums to sound together because they're two different types of instrument. You've got like a harmonic polyphonic instrument with a percussive sort of non-note oriented one, but you've got these strings suddenly coming in and translating to this "Oh Warrior," that part there, and it's, you know, there's different textures and timbres, but it somehow it works. Oh, guitar solo. There's a wah pedal on it or something like that? Fairly melodic, soulful kind of solo you got going on here, actually. I quite dig it. A little bit of finesse there. Lovely arpeggio there, pocketing there. No, I'm not familiar with the language. I'm not quite sure what we're saying, but I love the texture to the voice there. There's a clear passion for what's being sung about, and it resonates well amongst the rest of the different parts of the composition at this point. Like, I recognize this as a bridge, and I know we'll get a verse, bridge, chorus structure. There's just so much stuff going on within 6 minutes. It's wild, man. I do different solo sections, several instrumental breaks, and this is like a third verse, bridge, chorus. Sorry, when I said the guitar was doing a first to flat second, I'm aware now that like it sounded like we're going bum 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 with the overall kind of harmony there. That's what I sort of was meaning there. I didn't mean to confuse things. Yeah, what I'm trying to say is the overall harmony sound like it went for a first flat, second first, but the guitars are doing a different sort of progression now. Remember who you are in the land where you belong. Okay? Remember your heritage, man. Remember your journey. Now that was a really cool sound that happened there. I'm not sure which of the instruments, which was that one, but and were the ones we talked about earlier, the sort of the cultural instruments. But that was a great sound. Yeah, again, like when you experiment with these new tonalities within established norms of a genre, like, guitar, bass, drums, and piano, you get some interesting results. And Oh Warriors by Kiran Biswa, man, it kept me going for the 6 minutes. I'm not gonna lie. I didn't know what was gonna come next. I mean, I figured that there was probably gonna be a hook at the end. But for us to keep it engaging throughout the whole 6 minutes, for there to be so much change, so much dedication to making the best experience, like clearly with the amount of people involved in this and the polish and precision on the mix and the mixing and mastering, the production in general, as well as the instrumental performances, there was a lot of love put into this track. I think the collaboration paid off really, really well. I'm not quite sure what the end game is with what they're trying to accomplish, but if we look at it as purely a musical creation, I think it's reasonably successful. I think that for people who are familiar with the language, they'll understand it better, and so they'll be able to get maybe more value out of the story than me, just purely because I'm unable to understand the language, so I don't know what it is. But I enjoyed literally everything I could understand, which was literally everything else. I think it's not only having different things in a song to all these different instruments, but it's also knowing exactly where to put them for how long, which goes with which, and that requires again a fundamental understanding of music, sort of like composition and songwriting. But it also you also need to have a firm sort of understanding of how studio mixing works and the panning and all that kind of stuff, and the phrasing and the energy levels and all that. And it takes a lot of care and consideration and practice to get to a point where you're competent enough to be able to do that. So Kiran Biswa and everyone else involved, congratulations on a really well done song. I thoroughly enjoyed it. I don't get to listen to enough of this kind of stuff like Oh Warriors, Rock World Fusion. It was a great first impression to your work. Please, I think the world needs more music like this. Keep presenting the best elements of what you're putting forward here. Continue to try and bring in sort of elements which are unusual but that are also culturally important, and tell stories that people need to hear that they might have forgotten. And you'll find a niche, I think, and a lot of people, if they don't already, a lot of people will appreciate what you do. But effectively, that is my review of Kiran Biswa's Rock World Fusion track titled Oh Warriors. Hopefully you enjoyed it. If you did, please do go show Kiran Biswa some love via their various social medias. And I'm sure they're on the digital streaming platforms like Spotify and all that. Stay cool and stay safe. And please also remember to support your local musicians and artists at this point in time, as they need the help more than ever with all the crazy stuff going on in the world. Catch your next review. Spiderhands out.